Hello, happy Friday, Magee families. Here is our weekly video message. I'm going to start off with a Magee Parent Advisory update. The Parent Advisory met this past Monday, and these are the things that we talked about in our last meeting. The Parent Advisory offered feedback and advice around this school year's Magee communication expectations. We discussed the benefits of a classroom newsletter and updates on how your child is specifically doing academically and socially. And then we also discussed potentially one classroom newsletter a month detailing the upcoming academic units. And then the remainder of the monthly communication between parents and teachers would be direct communication about how your child is doing toward reaching their academic goals. We also talked about this school year's Magee homework expectations, and there was a discussion about potentially increasing the amount of homework just by a little bit for our fifth graders as they get closer to middle school. And parents expressed how they enjoyed receiving packets at the beginning of the week to manage homework throughout the week. And then one last thing that we talked about was an update on regarding I-Ready winter assessing in our Magee academics goal for this school year. On January 31st, I will have a short presentation sharing with you our math and reading I-Ready data to help you further understand the student reports that you will be receiving on January 31st. Our academic goal for the school year is to reach 95% of our students reaching their typical growth goal in both math and reading. And as of right now, at mid-year, we have 66% of our students who have reached or exceeded their growth goal in math, and we have 73% of our students who have reached or exceeded their growth goal in reading. So we are on a good path and track right now, mid-year, with 66% of our students moving forward beyond their goal in math and 73% of our students moving forward in their goal in reading. So congratulations to the students for the hard work, for teachers for their continued support, and parents for you helping your students at home with their homework and questions they may have. It is that time of the year right now where we start talking about fifth graders going on to sixth grade and what that transition will look like. So fifth grade families, you will receive this from Mrs. Matheson and Miss Kroll, but I also wanted to share it with you as well. On January 22nd and January 23rd, the middle school orchestra band and choir directors are introducing music options at each of our elementary schools during that school day. If you want to learn more about that, there is a link on a document that I have linked underneath this video in the e-newsletter for this document. On January 27th, the middle school information night will be taking place, welcoming fifth grade families from 5:30 to 7 p.m. During that night, there will be information provided on Create and Inspire at Kettle Moraine Middle School. On February 11th and 13th, the middle school is offering tour days for fifth grade parents and students from 9 to 10 a.m. Please RSVP to rogersb@kmsd.edu. And then on February 20th, that's the due date where sixth grade registration entries must be entered into the Infinite Campus portal. There is a supporting link for more information on each date on this document. And as I mentioned earlier, I may not have said it very clearly as I'm thinking about it, but a link to this specific document is in the e-newsletter underneath this week's video. I did send a couple text messages about our arrival and dismissal procedures here at Magee as a follow-up. We do have our district safety committee reviewing all arrival and dismissal procedures in all of our schools across the district. And as of right now, I want to thank those of you who are continuing to follow those safety expectations and procedures. Remember, when you're arriving, walk with your child across the crosswalk if parking and dropping off. Use the drop-off line if you're staying in your car. No dropping off in the parking lot or fire lane U. After 8:30 a.m., you must escort your child into the building. And thank you for following those safety expectations every day. As we have a number of staff outside making sure students, families, and staff are safe during arrival and dismissal, we continually need your help every day as well. the system is only as strong as those who are participating in the system and following the system. The minute that we loosen up on our safety systems is when something unsafe may happen. So thank you for keeping in mind the safety expectations and reminders so that everyone is staying safe while here at school. Of course, if you have any questions, please feel free to email me. I do not hesitate with that. I'm happy to talk more. So every month at Magee, we have an all-school monthly focus, and then we set goals for that monthly focus. And I wanted to share this with you this week so you could have a common understanding as to what is taking place in our building and supporting your child or children. So in the month of January, our goal is that I can manage my emotions by finding humor and using other strategies to stay on task. So this is our school-wide goal for the month of January. And every morning in our morning announcements, we review this goal and talk about strategies and other things that can help us with reaching this goal. So this week, we talked about what is emotional control. And we talked about how emotional control means being able to manage your feelings, like when you're feeling really happy or really sad or really mad, so you can make good choices and act calmly even when things are tricky. So this month, we will focus on understanding problem sizes. Is it big, medium, or small? Knowing how we feel, how to calm down after feeling upset, and reacting to certain situations carefully. This week during announcements, we played a game called Big Problem or Small Problem, and I will make sure I share with you the language that we use when we're playing that game. So here is that game. We talked about big problem, medium problem, or small problem, and how problems come in different sizes. Emotions and reactions also come in different sizes, and our reactions come from our emotions. It is expected that the size of the emotion and related reaction matches the size of the problem. So we connected this to a stoplight, where a red light means a big problem, and we need to stop and find an adult for help. A yellow light, just like when we're driving, means slow down, and it's a medium problem. So we need to slow down when it's a medium problem, determining, can we solve this on our own or do we need to seek help? And then finally, the green light means go. It's a small problem. This is a problem that we can ignore and move on from, or solve it by solving it on our own in that situation. So when we played this game, I would share a scenario, and the students in classrooms would have to identify if this is a red light, big problem, yellow light, medium problem, or green light, small problem. And then we would talk about why the situation was one of those problems and how we could maneuver through that problem. Next week, we're going to continue to play the game big problem, medium problem, small problem, but we're also going to talk about why emotional control and what are the positive things that come from sharing our feelings, reacting calmly, and taking deep breaths when frustrated. The following week is when everyone in our school, first grade and up, do a self-assessment. How are you with, I don't know how I'm feeling? Rate yourself. Are you doing that never, sometimes, or always? I can't tell sizes of problems. I feel worried. I overreact to small problems. It's hard to control how I react. I have trouble calming down, and I'll get angry at my problems. And the purpose of this is to help us as students to set a goal for the end of the month that we monitor. So students do a quick self-assessment, and they rate themselves, as always, sometimes or never, on those specific situations. And then in that following week, they set a emotional control goal. And then for the full week, they monitor that goal and to see how they do. So that's just a little bit about what we do in our all-school assembly, what we talk about. We also celebrate birthdays. We do our daily learning check. We do our daily safety check. And then we talk about what's coming up in the month. And that's what I'm going to talk about right now, what's happening here at Magee. And in the district, we have our KM4K Parent Information Night Parent Fair coming up on Wednesday the 15th from 5 to 7. If you or you know anyone that has a upcoming kiddo that's turning 4 before September 1st, 2025. Invite them to this fair. It's informational, and then they can get the enrollment process going. Just as a reminder, in the month of January, and it started this Monday, we have our Ames Web Plus winter assessments. And as I mentioned, on January 31st, you will get a Ames Web Plus reading and math student information and a iReady reading and math student information. And I'm going to do a slideshow in our weekly video message about how we are doing as a school and how those reports can help you at home with supporting your child's academic learning. We have our Magee movie night, which is featuring Inside Out 2 on Friday, January 24th. Our doors open at 6:15 p.m. The movie begins at 6:30, and there's popcorn, candy, and water for purchase. It is free to come to the movie. Popcorn, candy, and water are for purchase. So please come and enjoy Inside Out 2. If you want, you can scan that QR code to be a volunteer for that night. We also have on February 18th, Tuesday, February 18th, our Culver's Scoopy Night or Share Night. So we hope to see you there. It's going to be me, Mr. Byrne, our PTO president, and I believe Mr. Scrima, our PTO treasurer, that will be running the food out to families at Culver's that evening. Here is our January and February foreshadows. We had our PTO meeting today at 9. The 4K Parent Fair already spoke about. There's no school on January 20th. On the 24th, we have our school-wide play day to celebrate all of the hard work that we've been doing during the school year. And then, of course, on the 24th, we have our PTO movie night featuring Inside Out 2. On February 3rd, you have access to your child's report cards in Infinite Campus. Please note, we will not send a paper copy home first semester. If you want a paper copy of your child's report card or your children's report cards, please reach out to Beth Dumay in the front office and we will make sure you get one sent home. A paper copy will be sent home at the end of the school year. We have School Counselor Appreciation that we're celebrating February 3rd through the 6th. I do have here on the 13th, we're going to have our Valentine's Day kindness celebrations. Please note that that's going to be rescheduled for the beginning of that week since parent-teacher conferences are the evening of the 13th. I will update you shortly. The Magee leadership team will be discussing when that week makes most sense to have those celebrations. And once we make that decision as a team, I will let you know as families. We have our parent-teacher conferences on the evening of the 13th and the morning of the 14th. We will be finalizing sign-up geniuses next week, and we'll have those out to you by Friday, the 17th of January. 18th of February is Culver's Share Night again, and then we will have our February Magee PTO meeting at 3:45 in the cafeteria, and we will have childcare. So please, if you would like to attend at 3:45, stop on by, bring your kids. We will have childcare provided by our KM Global students. That is all that I have for you this weekend. I talked a lot throughout this video presentation this week of things of feedback and advice. Please go back to the section where I talked about what we did as a parent advisory and send me an email about the communication and your feedback and advice. We really want to make sure that we are addressing what it is that as parents you are looking for. And as a Magee leadership team, we're going to start taking this advice and feedback and thinking about what we can do differently for next school year. So if you like the idea of one newsletter a month with an update on the goals for that month, and then just updates on how your child is doing for the remainder of the month as communication to the teacher, please let me know. If you have another idea, please let me know. But we want to make sure that our communication is meeting what it is that you are looking for so you can continue to engage in supporting your child at school and at home. That is all I have for you this week. I wish you an amazing weekend, and I look forward to seeing everyone back here, bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, on Monday. Take care.